Hello. Hi. Hi there. My name is Chris Farah. Welcome to my YouTube channel where tonight, honey, it's 90 Day Fiancé Sunday Eve. It is late. It is 9:48 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, my loves, my little baby boos. And I know it's late. I'm so sorry. Um, I had a very fun weekend, and then I went to go see a movie at the lot, and it was really, really nice. It was Jungle Cruise, and Jungle Cruise, Emily Blunt's giving you this messy bun the whole time with like tendrils, and so it really inspired me. Also, not a Spawn video, but I wish it was. But I wish, oh my God, if Volume Spa would sponsor me. I love a smelly candle. And this one from Volume Spa, the Freesia Clementine, let me tell you, has such amazing throw, which is a candle making term for how strong your scent is. And this one smells lit or unlit, but lit. I mean, it's pungent, so I guess you really should like it. It is so intoxicatingly feminine, just sexy, kind of just like, I mean, I can't get enough of it. It's like my third candle of this kind. Anyway, I'm so happy to see you guys. Hello. Anyway, hi. I'm so happy to see you guys. So tonight, let's get into this episode. What did you guys? Yes, insomnia wins always. What do you guys think? I tweeted just now how Natalie, I'm sure, would have just loved that like fancy Russian restaurant in Miami that Yara and Jovi went to. What an interesting place. Like I just like, what is that place and can I go? Like I mean, I'm into a theme, and I'm someone who appreciates a little gold in some places. And having Yara talk about the way that she's used to Russian people displaying wealth, I hit close to home because I'm Syrian, Lebanese, and Middle Eastern people who have wealth tend to also be like, hello, here's some money, like just like gold everywhere, like it's, anyway, maybe LOL. But let's get over some people first. Angela and Michael, we wouldn't, obviously this, their whole relationship has been crazy. And this season has been really hard to watch anything, specifically because it just seems like Angela is blaming Michael for every situation, including her cigarette smoking. But I mean, truly everything that is just like not, I mean, she's verbally abusive of him and has always been. But also this time it's like she's upset that he's not there for her. It makes no sense. And I don't want to watch them anymore, truly. But this brought it to a new level of cringe where I definitely don't want to talk about Michael making some Cetaphil into a cup. What a horrible thing they made us watch. Okay. I mean, also, it took them an absurdly long time to leave the room, which was covered in black light. Okay, so Michael goes to the same fertility clinic that Angela had gone to when they, discover that Angela has one phantom ghost egg. And Angela has wanted to be there because Michael has never masturbated, and that's what we have to know about him. And she wants to be there while he does that because she wants him to think of her and she wants to show him parts of her. But I don't understand why she has to be there for every moment of this journey, and specifically this like doctor visit, but she's there on the phone. I mean, the doctor's there with very cute glasses. I see you, doctor. Honey, very cute glasses. I know you. I know you. For splash control. Black light for splash control. If you haven't yet, please like this video. It really, really helps my algorithm and helps me, just like helps your girl, Chris, doing her thing. So yes, please thumbs up this video. Thumbs it up. thumbs it up, thumbs it up. It would really, really help me, and I appreciate it. I always forget to ask. Okay, so I like the glasses on this doctor, honey. They're like very cute, cat eye pink. Okay, and here's the thing I also realize, boy, can I hear a Nigerian woman speak English so I can understand what she's saying, because I'm a person that only speaks right now, like really only one language well. But what a beautiful accent it is. Like a Nigerian man's okay. Like I don't not mind it. I think it's hot, but like a Nigerian woman, like I want a beautiful Nigerian woman to like read me bedtime stories to go to bed, like in a calm app, because there is something so regal and refined and soft. And like, as someone who listened to a lot of Beyonce and got used to like, her sound clips of, accents, I'm just like, yeah, like I could hear this doctor speak. It's just like, the poise and elocution and eloquence of the way that Nigerian women speak English is like so much better than, I mean, it's like borderlines. I think it's like technically, on the same part of me than like British, upper class British people speaking it, where it's just like, oh, that's how you speak that language. And anything that any American's doing, much less other people in the world, is not doing it the same way. I love you guys. It's so nice to see you guys in the room. Hey, Kay, hi, Mickey. I'm so glad you guys are here. So glad you guys are up. Thank you so much for like coming on in. I know it's like late, but let's get in. So Angela is ready to like have Michael mix Cetaphil into a cup. And so her soundbite of the night is, honey, like, I'll jack my leg up if he wants to see something. She just wants to like, she is so happy that she's like lost some LBs, which I get too, but she just like wants to show off her badge, it's like, well, help, like, can you imagine what she's going to show? She's going to like, is she going to like, can you see it? He can't, he can't even see, like, how is she going to really make sure he's like, it's like aimed at it. Like, I know that like, I just know that like for her to like sort of find the mound and find like exactly where it is and aim it at the camera could be hard because she's holding the camera too. So I'm just like, I mean, okay. So why do I keep even thinking about it? I wish I didn't, Ooh, Adriana. Oh, another Lane and Callie. Yeah, that's the reason why I'm up, honey. My God. It's only for us 9:56, my Sunday Eve. So he does it, and after, again, it took us too long to get out of the room. He was like in the room, honey, and I was like, okay, let's get out of the room, honey. He's like, Angela, would you right there? She's like, okay, like, and in my mind, I was like, what? Yeah, like, how is this going to work? But supposedly it takes no less than 2 minutes. Now, here's where I'm going to break it down. We leave the room, and this whole time we've been seeing on our phone Angela, right? Like the FaceTime of Angela. And we also see Michael in the room, and the room is darkly lit. Like, I'm going to take this off for a second because the ring light's messing me up. The room is darkly lit, like, again, with like black light, again, for splash guard. Can you imagine what's in those walls everywhere? Like, maybe that's why it's black lit, because they're like, we clean the room, because kids, I cannot imagine what that room looks like. And I just like, God, I was like, what horrible things I keep making myself think of tonight. Okay, so anyway, God bless. So then the camera backs out of the door, right? And the door closes, like, okay, let's get to it. And then we hear what's happening behind the door, as well as we still see Angela on the phone. So it makes me feel like the entire time we saw Angela like on that screen, for people who watch this scene specifically and tell me if I'm wrong, that was not real. Like whatever she was on the phone doing was a different situation. And then the production made her just like go to camera and fake certain lines to camera or something. Because she's this honey there, she's just there, like outside with her ponytail and like a blue tank top and like the lights behind her. It's like, what do you need, Michael? Want me to do, like, there's no way that this actually worked, like, and the sounds that she's just like making from behind closed doors, like none of it's good. I'm really upset. I know everyone's really upset too. Everyone's grossed out. But here's the thing. We don't, I mean, like, we're spending time talking about someone in a couple that, like, who knows what's happening, because it just at this point feels like overwhelming that this toxic relationship has like perpetuated into, or whatever, to the present. Perpetuity. Let's move on to Asuelu and Kalani. Hot one. Okay, so Asuelu gets Tammy and his mom into the house, right? And everyone comes in, the kids, Tammy's kids, I guess, Asuelu's mom, and then Kalani's there with her kids, and they're like, hi. Tammy does not say hi to Kalani. Kalani says hi to Asuelu's mom. I think one of the kids says hi to Kalani or whatever. Then quickly, Kalani and Lo and the mom come home. Kalani. Wait, it's Kalani and Kalani. Kalini. Okay, God bless. So Kalani and Kalini. Yeah, okay. So they come home, honey, with the food or whatever. And it's like, Tammy is like taking in this house, and they sit down for Christmas dinner, and Asuelu is like, Mom, will you say Christmas prayer? And then quickly, like, Kalani's mom's like, no, she's a guest in this house. And I don't understand quickly why that has to happen. Like, for my mind, it's like, okay, there's two ways of looking at prayer. And I grew up, like Catholic. Okay. So this is, I guess, how I would view it. Also Lebanese Syrian. So there's like two culture things. I understand in my life, the host of the house decides who's going to give the prayer. Now, if you're real religious, often at family during Christmas, the person leading the prayer, honey, he wears a little white thing around his neck. Honey, he's a priest. Get what I'm saying? So, but if it's not a priest, the host then gets to like give that honor to whoever. Like, I've been in situations where, honestly, my dad, if he can make the decision, he will make me do it, because he wants me to, like, he just doesn't like to talk out loud. He likes to talk out loud, but like he would be happy to have me do it. I have an uncle who loves to do it. You can't wait to do it, in anyone's house, but in this situation, it's Asuelu who then, sitting at the head of the table, gives the honor to his mom, who obviously is religious. And his mom is like about to say, okay, or whatever, God bless. But then the mom's like, no, she's a guest. You have to do it. It's confusing to me. Like, whatever. Because sometimes it's a respect thing, like, especially if that person is Soup's religious. If a Soup's religious person's in your room, like a priest or just a lay person that, wants to, honey, give them the prayers. Just know that it might be a real long time till you get that food. But Asuelu does his prayer, and he says, may the spirit of Christmas to fade, or like, something about like, he says, blah, 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 the spirit of Christmas to face everything. And it was so, I was going to be like, I don't know what you think Santa's going to do. Okay, you can't put this on the spirit of Christmas to help you and your family. I mean, I don't know what you think Santa's already busy, honey. He's making a bunch of toys. Okay, he doesn't have time to come down and deal with Tammy. That's not the spirit of Christmas's job. Asuelu. It's a whole situation, because Tammy has no respect for Asuelu. And obviously, like, they think like really ill of him, because half of them are just like, It's like everyone thinks bad of Asuelu and sort of like disrespects him and then gets mad at the other one for disrespecting him. That's kind of a funny situation. But in this situation, at the dinner table, Tammy can't stop talking about how nice the house is. You know, like she's overwhelmed, my loves, with how nice the house is. Okay. So she's like, this is a nice house. And the mom, like, you know, in Samoan's like, stop talking. Don't be negative or whatever. But they just both bring up the fact that like, the mom's going back to Samoa and that Asuelu has to start giving money or more money and a substantial amount of money, not even a little money, not like a fun size bag of money, a king size bag of money, queen size. And that is a point of contention. And Tammy looks around and is like, you are affording all of this. And what I don't understand is why someone isn't like, oh, this is not Asuelu's. I don't think that you're in this house because your son/brother built this house. Obviously, he didn't. He didn't buy this house, frozen yogurt and bride chairs. And I'm so sorry. Like, he just didn't buy that house with those two jobs. It's obvious that they're getting help. I mean, they're getting help, obviously, from her family. So I kind of want someone like Lo to be like, well, I give them this amount of money and he has this amount. He makes $60,000 a year. He literally can afford sending you, mom, like $500 maybe every 3 months or every 6 months. But we also realize something, which they say. They're somewhat also afraid of how their money's going to be spent because they have borne witness, mostly Asuelu, to his mom giving the money to the church, the pastors, everyone that needs it. Meanwhile, her and her children forego like protein in their diets. I mean, I shouldn't say protein, but he said like taro. I'm so sorry. He said like rice and I think like taro root. He didn't say like goat, whatever, God bless. He lives with the in-laws and makes 24,000. So like what truly is he going to send back? Do they not know that like they have to know that like her family is paying for everything. So I guess that it needs her family to be like, oh no, we're paying for everything. So like they don't have enough money. They don't have enough money for themselves. Everything you're seeing here is because like we did this for them. So no, so sorry, we can't also give you money. Like that's almost what it needs to happen. But Lo won't do it. Lo would need to do it. All the Samoan culture talk, like he is the man of the house, Hi, I'm so happy to see you, my loves. Look at that beautiful sunset. My summer has been so great. That church don't need no money. I mean, that's a whole other thing. Like, as people age and as they need money, they take that money and like sometimes don't use it to the best, to the best of their needs. And it can be very frustrating if you're the one providing that money. So Tammy is just like a little bulldog. I mean, Tammy scares the shit out of me, like Tam. I don't like her, like you can't bring that energy around me. I wouldn't have that energy in my house. The minute Tammy came in the house with her kids, I'd be like, you can march right out. I don't want those like scrawny little Scrabble dabbles in my house. I mean, that's how I feel. Like you can't bring people into my house that like wish me ill or have told like they don't care about my kids or like they want me to get divorced. Like you just can't. So let me tell you what happened. So Asuelu at this point is like, let me make it better, by putting on like a white elephant, a little like gift exchange. He bought all the gifts, honey, and it's like one of the gifts was like a fart spray. And I forgot the fact that like, yeah, they always call that one son farty boy, And here's the thing. I guess there's like, I hate the word fart. I don't like it. I think it's a weird word. I don't like the sound of it, like the oral quality of it. Like I'm not into it. Like, or the audio quality. Like the Arabic word for fart is fus, and I appreciate that one more. So I will tell you that like growing up, people called me fussy face. Okay. They called me fussy face. That's what they did. And I'm not happy about it. Okay. They also called me cussy fussy. I'm like half laughing, but it's like also like horrible if you know Arabic. Like why would they call like a young child that? I wish they hadn't. Growing up to know what it means, I was kind of like, oh, that's not as cute as I really was. I don't think I deserved that, especially at that age. But I guess it's like a term of endearment. So, um, Farty Boy is second only to Amber calling her daughter booger butt on Teen Mom. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know. Yes. Yes. Pussy. Our face fair. I know. I know. Why do they call you that? What the heck? I mean, I'm talking about like parents and old people, because it's like, when they're out there being cute, they weren't being cute. Okay, so then after all of that, he's like, it's a little on the nose because they're literally asking for money and like basic like needs for their mom, and then he just gives them fart spray, like gives his mom fart spray. Like this, okay. I would like to think that there were other gifts there for the mom that wasn't fart spray, right? I mean, I don't know, my loves, what's in Samoa? Like, is there like a Alibaba? I mean, is there like, I'm sorry, not Alibaba. Is there like some sort of like gift card you can get for something that like, she'll use for good things? Can't you just, I don't know. You can't, you just send her money. You have to send her money. I mean, why don't you send her small amounts frequently? But like small amounts, but rather frequently. So she's like, if she ever asks for more, he's like, more's coming. I just needed to get some in the mail. And it's like, more's coming. And then like $20 comes. She's like, more. She's like, oh yeah, just getting that mail. Like I mean, it feels like they're not giving her anything. Also, yeah, Tammy's a nightmare again. So why would you have her in her house? But what happens is, yeah, he gives Kalani her own gift, and it's a pink baby blanket. Okay, because he wants to have another baby. And this is where Kalani should have just been like, oh, pink baby blanket. And then he'd be like, yes, because I want to have more kids, and then I would have just been like, mm-hmm. So what else? Can we wrap this up? Should we give him the real presents? We can get this going, okay? Like I would have just been like, clock, clock, clock. We'll talk about that later. Like, but because she like puts up a thing and then they are just like, oh, she doesn't want to have more kids and he's the man in the house. Great, it's another reason for you guys to get divorced. And they bring up the divorce card, honey, and then Asuelu gets really, really upset, and then he attacks Tammy like, I mean, like a football player. He like goes at Tammy like head down, like shoulders up. I mean, it's just like, I've never been attacked. I've never attacked someone. I've never touched anyone. So like, I can't imagine it, but I'm not like physically aggressive. I'm not like confrontational. I really, truly will leave any room. I'm so excited to. I can't wait to leave a room. You guys, can I tell you a personal thing? This is kind of funny. This happened today. Personal quick thing, which is LOL funny to me. I said, okay, I went to go see Jungle Cruise, right? And I went with my dad because we like Disney or whatever. And my dad's ex-wife, who was my ex-stepmom, came in the theater. Honey, And we were like, ah, and I was like, oh my God, there she is, there she is. And then I like looked at my dad, I'm like, oh my God, there she is. We saw her immediately. And I look at his face and I just watch his face go like this. And then she walks back up and she has to come back through the same row that we're in to the seat that's pretty much on the side of my dad with like one, because we're social distancing, like one whole, it's a nice theater. So like a set of fancy chairs away, if it makes sense. Just sit next to my dad's ex-wife and my ex-stepmom, who we haven't seen in a minute. It's very specific to my life, I guess. Why'd I bring it up? Because in that moment, my loves, I wanted to leave the room. I was like, should we just leave? Movie hadn't started yet, you know, because I really hate any sort of awkwardness in any sort of situation. Now, here's the thing. It's actually very good for me because I like, for a moment, I was just like, do we talk? Do we have to talk? Do you talk to her? I should put my shoes on and go talk. We don't talk to her. You divorced. I mean, it was, like, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't. She said hi to me. He said hi to her. Thankfully, right when she sat down, the like waiter came and like took a long time to order. So like we didn't have to like engage, because the movie started like right after work. God bless, God bless. She left right afterward, my love. She jetted out of that theater. So, but again, when that happened, I was like, we should leave. Like, I thought he was going to want to leave. I kept looking at him being like, but at the same time, yeah, we just sat there. We watched the movie. I got over it. I didn't have an anxious reaction. Anyway, I love you guys. I was wearing, I was at the theater wearing this mask. So she absolutely did see me. So you really can see that ring light. So, okay. He lunges at his sister, honey, and they just kind of like get a big hook and just take the people out of the house. It like happens in one fall swoop. Like, they're just like, bye. And they're just like, those people go out the door. At the same time, it's so interesting because Asuelu had picked them up. I'm like, how are they getting home? I think Lo drove them home. That's what I think in my mind. There's gotta be something there between Lo and, not like something sexual, but like, but something there between Asuelu's mom and Lo, because I don't understand how that could happen in his house. Okay, from now I remember, he was at the dinner, but did he stay for the white elephant? Because definitely Kalani was there. Kalani was there. Kalani had her sister's back. Kalani was like, she's allowed to do with what she wants with her body. The mom was there because the mom asked for the spam. I don't know where Lo was sitting on this couch. I can't picture him, but like, where was he during this tussle? Asuelu was sitting on the floor. Yeah, I don't understand how Lo is the Rock. I just saw, like everything's gonna go back to Juggle Cruise. Lo is like the Rock, a big ass, who's gonna, this is his home, like, I'm surprised anything can happen in his presence, like he's just intimidating. He's an intimidating person. Like, could you imagine like having like a kerfuffle like in front of the Rock? Involving like perhaps maybe the Rock's daughter or daughters? I would not go head to head with the Rock over the Rock's daughters. And that is how I feel for Lo. I like look at Lo, I'm like, you're the Rock. Right? Okay. He was in the chair, but he got up and left before the blowout. Why? He was there. I think he was there and he left with the baby. Oh. Didn't hear it? You want to come back down? Lo left with the baby? Lo left with the baby? Baby, well. You guys like, okay. Now you're all saying it. He had the baby. Okay. Lo got the gift off to the side of the couch. Okay, I guess you're like, thanks for picking this up. I want him to be there. I don't understand why he's not there. Okay. Yes. Okay. He's trying to, but like, meanwhile, in his home is all this discontent. And it feels like, I guess I want to say he's like just, but he's not taking care of his family, I guess. Also, I feel like if he had a little more of a say, there wouldn't be as much drama, which is literally what I could also say about Chuck. So, should I move on to Libby and Andrei? Maybe I will. Libby and Andrei. So, in the wake of Ellie's tumultuous, like, birthday, like, I don't know they tried to, I feel like they should have watched the christening episode from Real Housewives of New Jersey and then just like watch a family go at it at a child's festivities for how to make reality shows interesting because they're not doing it. They're not doing it. Do you understand? Ellie's whole situation was bad for her birthday, which is sad. But at the same time, this is a really horrible fake situation, which is basically this, which we all know, which is that there is a family business that Chuck, who is Libby's dad, runs. Basically, the family business, from what we know, is this, my loves. They have a liquid amount of cash, right? They buy homes on the market for cheap, right? Because they have also in the family realtors, people who have a real estate license in order to pocket certain amounts of percentages and keep that in the family name, okay? And for maybe tax purposes, I'm not quite sure. And they flip the house and they sell it. So you buy it and sell it with the real estate agent of your choice in your family, and you then design the flip of it, probably with someone in your family, and construct it maybe with someone else in your family. It sounds like Andrei is somewhat interested in the constructing element of it. No one actually tells me who does the designs. I don't know if we're like, because it's like Becky does it, the real estate agent, or one of the other ones maybe is the real estate agent. I'm not quite sure who is the Christina in this. A flip or flop. Like who's putting the subway tile? Who's putting the stack stones? Who's deciding which color gray? Okay, so the whole situation in the family business is that bringing Andrei in has like caused disharmony, right? Because Chuck has bequeathed certain amounts of money and or like privileges and or like work assignments to his kids, and they're all hungry vultures who have nothing going them for themselves and can't like do anything for themselves and have to be like on daddy's tit all the time. Okay, they all like hate each other and have like jealousy of each other all the time, and they just all seem truly like just garbage, toxic, swamp people. I mean, it's truly. They're all mad at Libby because they feel like Libby gets the most or is her dad's favorite, and Libby brought on Andrei, who now they're saying is Chuck's favorite because he's letting Andrei do certain things, and Chuck is just like, no, I'm helping them the same way I helped you, Becky and Buki, like because you're dumbass real estate agents that wouldn't have one property if it wasn't for your daddy, like buying with his money some properties and letting you buy or sell them. Okay, Becky and Buki. I don't know the other one's name. But I'm just like Kalani, like Kaluni, that is her name's Kalani Kalini. Kalini? Whatever, Kaluni. I like Kaluni better. So I think I'm getting bit. I'm just so sweet. Libby seemed confused and needed help from the sister, and also said she usually doesn't get her way. I think they're all just a bunch of like spoiled, grabby, whiny, entitled nightmares. And here's the thing. I wish them no harm. And the only reason why I'm talking ill of them is because I don't want to watch them on TLC, and I'm hoping that just like TLC will take them off. I will never go to their channels or like tell them they're bad or like tweet about them being whatever miserable. And I feel bad putting like such negativity in the air about anyone, but they are just the worst, and they want so much fame, and they're so hungry for it. Everything is so fake. So God bless. Libby then goes to lunch with her dad, where they have the most asinine conversation where the dad's pretty much like, I can't believe what happened at your daughter's celebration. And I can't believe how far our family has gone where we can't even hang out. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have another family celebration to get to the root of it. When they have already talked us into, we're going to get to the root of our family problems by going on some van trip to another part of this dumb, place we live where like we have other family members. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's just like we've literally seen this. We have to hear this. Like, who is writing the script? Are the producers aren't doing a good job? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So yeah, he wants to have a cookout or like a barbecue, whatever the hell, where people are supposed to be loose enough that he can really get to the meat of the issues, which is basically that he won't just tell people what's what. This is the same thing where I'm like, just, it's your business. I don't understand. Just be like, Boogie, why don't you and Becky get on this house together? And let me just like work with Andrei a couple of months and get him up to speed. It'll be good for you to spread your wings. And Becky, great fillers. I don't know what to tell you, so, but that ends up what happening. Like Buki and Becky get together and we're like, we're going to buy this house, like, without our dad. And I was like, great. Like, I don't understand why you even need your dad. If you found a property and you're both real estate agents and you have like some liquid cash, then buy the property, then my loves, borrow what you need to borrow. And then, yeah, flip it the way you've been taught to flip it or whatever you want to do with your, I'm sure, great taste. Yeah, and then flip it and make some money without your dad. What does Chuck's teat taste like? What does that milk taste like? I mean, it tastes like whiskey and like cheese curds. That's what that milk tastes like. Why do you want it in your mouth anymore? Spit it out. Okay, Brandon and Julia. I love you guys so much. Okay, Brandon and Julia. Okay. Wow, another one where we're just like, truly, like, I don't mind watching them in the sense that I don't feel like they're as atrociously unwatchable as Libby's family, where I feel dirty afterward. I feel like, I don't know how long I can do with this. But at the same time, things happen with Brandon and Julia where you're just like, well, I don't know if I can support this either. Like, I cannot wrap it around my mind, honey. Cannot wrap it around my life that like Julia is 27 sometimes because she acts like she is 22. Like, Julia's 27? Is that 5 years seem like a lot? It does, though. 27. I mean, it's not 32, and that's another 5 years. But sometimes she's just so young, They moved in, honey, but they have not decorated. But someone, for some reason, decided to have a party, which was a bad idea. They should just move in and get settled. They just like had their first night together. The party involves their friend AJ and then Melanie, which is, Brandon's friend that he like had like one, I don't know, like slightly suspicious night on the farm with, where I'm sure they were in that hot tub just making a bunch of Cetaphil to float around that hot tub. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are paired, Brandon and Julia, because yes, they are both immature for different reasons, right? Like, I actually don't know Julia's reason. I don't know Julia's reason, but Brandon's reason for being immature definitely is the overbearingness of his parents. I mean, I can go on record saying that, right? Feels that way. Feels like that probably is a thing. Just because, again, like the reactions to like him moving out and being like, "You're so dumb. Do you think that you can move out and get an apartment? You have no idea what goes into it." Well, it's like, well, then let him like. Okay, also, yeah, he can. He's not buying a house. You can rent an apartment. I mean, listen, if you think that your son is so dumb that he can't literally count enough to be like, I don't have $1,200 in my bank account for a month. Like, if you think he is that level, honey, then that is your fault. And if you think that, I mean, like, whatever, if he can pay $1,200 a month, at least for the next 6 months until he runs out of money, and then he realizes that he can't make that, then he'll have to move, and then he'll learn. I don't understand why that's even a bad thing. Or why do you think that you complaining to him, saying to not do it, is going to mature him or give him any wisdom anyway? Thank you so much. Do I remind you of the doctor who had cute glasses and Angela and Michael scene? Okay, so again, this is why they should have never invited anyone over. And I'm like, I guess Brandon invited them over because Julie is not ready for anyone to come over. She looks like she hasn't showered. She has no makeup on, especially for someone who has like mild jealousy issues. And this person's coming over, Melanie, who she's had this like fight with, whatever, God bless. But she loves AJ. Like Julia loves her some AJ. So Melanie comes over, and then Julie is weird. And then Julie's also like anxious because the place isn't put together, which it's not. And like they had the art like just sitting on the wall, like ready to go up, and the art is like pedantic. Okay. Melanie, and then there was like some awkward moments, and Melanie and Julia go into the kitchen to like get drinks, and Melanie's like, I'm sorry if I intimidated you. It was a little bitchy moment. And Julia's like, well, no, you have to like get it. Like, no one was on my side. Everyone's attacking me. And she's like, well, you have to get it. Like, we're on Brandon's side. We care about him, not you. So I like that part. And then during some other discussion, they decide to tell everyone that for some reason that Julia wants to put a pole in the kitchen. And they're kind of like laughing about it. But then I'm kind of like, okay, Julia, are you an exotic dancer, or are you a stripper, or are you an exotic dancer? Either one, or are you just like a girl who likes pole dancing, or like just a go-go dancer? I guess there's many different types of people who like a pole situation. Like if you're going to be a stripper, that's fine. I can't wait to know it. If you're going to be someone who is like a pole dancer, are you that good at pole dancing? Because that's a whole beautiful skill, like, you know, like with bruises on the thighs, honey, because you have to hold yourself in such a way. Julia, is that what you're doing? Because if that's also what you're doing, then skip trying to like teach a dumbass class at like Planet Fitness, honey. Like go and teach some pole dancing classes, because that body on a pole, if you can do things to like, you know, put on like some Beyonce lemonade or whatever, it's going to look fabulous. Okay, so, or if you're just a go-go dancer, then what are you going to do with the pole? Just like kind of be like, I don't think you need a pool. Sometimes, yeah, like when she brings it up, I'm just like, you're 27? You know? Hmm. No, if someone wants to do some stripping, I do not mind it, definitely. But like, I just want to know all the parts of it, you know, like truly. So Melanie, so this brings up a good point, Lisa. So what happens is after they talk about the poll, Julia's like, I also like want over here to be the crib, you know, like this is where I want for the baby to be. And Melanie's like, are you guys ready for a baby? You guys just moved in. And here's the thing, Melanie has already gotten in trouble for sharing. There's a big bee crawling on the window. And I think there must be some hive by that window, because I just keep seeing them and it's super weird. Melanie has already gotten in trouble for giving her opinion, my loves. Julie has made it clear she does not need her opinion. Okay. Melanie also realizes that because she gave her opinion, she got to come back on the show. So Melanie's going to give an opinion. And it's going to be contrary to Yulia's. So Yulia is just like, Melanie, stop talking! Which, I mean, it hit me apart where I was like, that's exactly what you wanted to say. I mean, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, just stop talking. Like, I would, I mean, a little bit, yeah, me too. I'd be like, bitch, you're in my home. So if I say I want to have a crib there, then you say, you know, rockabye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, you'll be there to rock my baby, honey, because if you're not, you're never coming back. You're never going to see your friend again. Just pretend you didn't even know Brandon, honey's in a milk carton to you. You'll never see him, nor his baby. That's how petty I am. I had to take a bee back outside. You know, this is like, did I tell this already or something? This is like so crazy, but I was filming about I was filming an audition in this room, and I had the smallest crack in this window, and not one but two bees came in. And then above me is like a little like fixture like this. And the bees came in and started flying around the fixture, just basically burning themselves. I felt like they just kept burning themselves. It was like moth to a flame, you know, but like bee to this thing where it was just like you could like, they were like, and they were going hyper fast, like bees, like, but bees like honey on like roids or sugar, you know, they were just like, you know, on the blight. I was just, I mean, I couldn't do anything. My mouth was open, but also closed. I was just like, you know, like just watching them until, and this happened, by the way, they didn't come at the same time. So each bee happened 30 minutes of each other. They would do what I just said. And then after a certain point, they would just sort of fall to the ground. And then I got a vase. So the first one happened, I got the vase, I just put the vase on top of the bee honey, and I kept going with the self-tape because I'm a professional. And then I literally just happened again, where I was just like in the middle of like whatever I was doing, like Bert, blah, 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 blah. His name is not Bert, but it being like, zzz, ah! You know, and then like watch the same thing, just mouth like, ah, until it like, put the second one dead. I mean, not dead, but like, burned alive. I don't know what it did to itself. Under the same vase. Okay, did the self-tape. Put the self-tape in the computer, looked at the best ones, edit it all together, send it off to the thing I'm gonna do. It's all a situation when you're acting in this time. It's fine. God bless. It's a whole new world, but that's what it is. It's a lot of work. And I forgot about the bees, right? Because they weren't making any noise. My love, underneath that vase. The next morning, I forget. I'm like, oh my God. I come up to see them. They're both dead. I mean, now, here's the thing. Whether they were going to die already or whether I killed them in that vase, I'm not quite sure. There was a lot of air in the vase, so I don't think I killed them. I think they were like on death's door and suffocated because they were in the vase all night. Okay. Really appreciate this. Remember, yeah, you like the story, send me a little bee emoji for rewatching, my loves. Also remember to like this video, you know, give it a little like with that THUMB, hard B, that thumb. How do you hit that like with that like, the B in your thumb? Or if you're using your finger, the R, the finger. That's what my B did. Okay. What is it? Can someone tell me? And here's the thing, I don't think I'm alone. And I think that, is it bee season? Bee season to me should be like right before spring. What happens right now in July? Are they dying? Is it too hot? Why are they attracted to light? Why are they killing themselves on light? Because if they're too hot, are they too cold? Is there too many of them? Are they confused? There's not enough flowers? Am I supposed to plant flowers around my house? You tell me what I'm supposed to do. Bees are attracted to queens, but never sting them, Chris. You should see me in a crown, Farrah. Oh my God, I'm dead. At least I'm dead. You should see me in a crown. Ugh, I'm never going to leave this life. Okay. So my loves, let's move on. So basically, yeah, she's like, Melanie, stop talking. Mike, oh no, I want to go to Yara and Jovi, and then I'll go to Mike and Natalie. Yara and Jovi. So Yara and Jovi, honey, are still in Miami, and it didn't go so well the first night. And so Gwen like takes her son aside and is like, go out and show Yara a nice time. And at first it's promising because a nice time is like he found a real fancy Russian restaurant in Miami to take his woman out to. And she instantaneously is like comforted by it. And I think is like, it also is nice. And she kind of like feels familiar, you know, and she's like having fun. And the food looks really, really good. And like the decor is a little over the top. But I mean, I think that, you know, like whatever, she's into it. And she has to speak Russian. It's all good. And then she brings up strippers. And this part where I'm like, okay, I think this part feels like, why wouldn't this be like set up by the producers? Yeah, you should take her to a strip joint afterwards. So like that's what happens. He's like, let's go to a strip place, and she's very much like vehemently, okay, but can we? If I want to leave, can we leave? He's like, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know how, or in the meantime, or how, but somehow they also then have cashola on them, dollar bills, y'all. I'm just like, did they stop at an ATM? Does Jovi just always roll with that amount of cash? Is that how much he likes strip joints, but not strippers? I guess that's what he's trying to say. I don't love strippers. I just love strip joints. Just like Europe. You know how you go to Europe and you're just like free titty down the beach? That's just like, yeah, I like to go to bars where they have free titty. And Yara's like, okay. But she goes. And yeah, they get like, I think that, okay. They go and she's not super into it, and she's kind of like playing about, and you can tell she's like somewhat uncomfortable, and I get it. And she kind of like, I think, is trying to play around and try and being fun and cool, but you know that like Jovi gets a taste of being there, and he is like, I do not want to leave because I'm finally happy. You know how you felt so at home, Yara, at that fancy schmancy Russian restaurant I took you to, full with people that speak your language and eat your food? You know how you felt like great there, like you finally were like whole, the thing that you've been missing your whole life, where you like are truly you and you're truly free? That's how I am here now. Strip clubs and Jovi, honey. This is my language. This is it. To see this girl, see this butt, see this wink. It's like Russian. Spasiba. You know what I'm saying? Yara isn't wanting to stay. So she feels like they can just pop in. She can like, give him money. I think that also she's like, why are we having to give her that much money? I also like would love some of this money for like me and my like wants and needs and my like, purses or whatever. And so she wants to leave, and Jovi, I almost call him Jovi. Yara and Jovi. Can I? So Jovi's like, no, I don't want to leave. No. Why would I leave? I'm here. And Yara's like, but because I want to leave? Is because why? Because I'm your wife, I want to leave. And Jovi's like, no, we're staying. And here's the thing, it's so interesting because I think this is where Yara's like, is it that you think this person's hot, or you want to like, you just want to like kind of get drunk and stare at this person, and then I can't quite hear you, and I, like the music is really, really loud, and it's not really like music like you're gonna like dance to, because it's not gonna be like Britney and Beyonce. It's gonna be like whatever it is, sometimes, or God bless. I'm not quite sure at this place. Like, I'm not saying all super places like don't play good music, but it doesn't feel like this kind of place. It feels like a little like dancey, like EDM-y or whatever, God bless. And I'm sure I'm just like, Yara's like, you know what? Here's the thing. I would much rather go to like a nice fancy bougie bar, or in Miami. Like, I want to go to like a bougie place. This is not bougie. This is a strip club. And you know what? I'm having a flashback. I did go to a strip club in Miami. Was it that one? Oh my God. No, it was much bigger. Was it that? No, it wasn't. We came in through a different way, and it was much bigger than that. Wow, I just had a flashback. Yeah. Anyway, because I knew what that feeling was like. I wish I didn't go to that strip club. That was a regret to go. Especially because you're like in a place where you're like, I want to go to, I don't know, like someplace that has like cool Cuban music and like yummy dulce de leche drinks, my loves, or like a sexy vibe with like better lighting, like some pink lighting, like, just something just like loungy in Miami, maybe with a guitar player music, live music or something that just like sparks passion between two people, and not a place like a movie theater or any sort of show where you just like sit and watch something and conk out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that This is where we're going to deep dive. I feel like there's something to, I think, watching strippers for men that truly love it, like, and are addicted to it, and the people that love porn, where you can clock out and escape into a false sexuality that is intoxicating because there is no like feeling or attachment to it. Right? So that's what happened. Like, I think that that's what happens, like, when, like, people consume porn or whatever. Like, I think that there's, like, Jovi talked Yara into going to the strip club. It's like, yeah, I see couples there all the time, whatever. And, like, I think there are couples that, like, go to a strip club every, like, once in a while and maybe just, like, watch the dancer and, like, and then, like, they're, like, into the dancer, but also, like, enjoying some sort of, like, sensuality between themselves, and are, like, involved in sharing and expressing their sexuality however they want with the stripper, and whatever, like, fantasize or whatever they want to do, and what, I think that there's so much room for everything, but it's obvious that, like, Yara isn't into the strip situation. So, like, you can't ask someone to, like, engage for too long who can't engage in it. And it's hard because you see on the flip side, Jovi can only, like, falls into the engagement like a slippery slope where, you can just lose yourself. Jovi is never, ever going to grow up. It was really interesting when Miss Gwen was like, at first I was worried about Yara, like, whether she was ready to, get married, or what her intentions are. And now I'm worried about Jovi. This causes a huge blow up between them, of course, outside in the parking lot. And it's really frustrating to watch. And it's really sad. So I don't, it's also just like, well, to see, because you just, like, want to be like, I don't know, I guess for me, it's like, Jovi, all you had to do was take your beautiful wife and mother of your child out to, like, a lounge type bar and give her, like, one more drink. Like, you were doing so well. You had to give her, like, one or two more drinks at, like, a fancy bougie Miami, like, sexy lounge place. And then you would have taken your beautiful wife home into your hotel room that you don't have a baby at right now. And you would be able to have real sexual situations with someone who's hot. Yara's hot. Just like I think Becky's hot. Like, Becky's husband, if this was a situation, be like, well, why doesn't Becky's husband want to take her down and fuck her? She's hot. So let's move on to Mike and Natalie, shall we? Mike and the Nats. My goodness. I feel like she scrubbed, like, her Instagram. All of Natalie's Instagram pictures are, like, taken from 3 sets of photo shoots. So, like, her past 20 pictures are, like, from 3 sets of photo shoots on the beach or whatnot. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, Sir Anthony. Tee. Sorry. I only wrote down 2 things for the whole segment. This is what I wrote down. The Trish phone call, she doesn't even like you. And then I didn't even write down the end, honey, because it ended. I just wanted to talk about it. And the end, of course, is the final scene that she has with her friend, and then they're going to the swim. So let's get into the Trish phone call. So what happens, of course, is we see in the episode before that at a confessional, like a sit-down confessional they had with the producers, there's this blow-up. It doesn't happen, like, at their house. It happens, again, in this confessional. You can see their professional lighting. And during this blowout, Natalie is sitting in the professional lighting and Mike is like pacing about. And that's when Mike's like, call her, his mom. And like they get Trish on the phone. And then they talk whether about she called Natalie a hooker. And of course, she says she did not call Natalie a hooker. And the morning after, we find Mike just walking through the woods, honey, like, like Bigfoot. My God. I mean, if truly. By the way, did you guys see that? Supposedly, there was another like Bigfoot sighting. And by that, another Bigfoot sighting, like someone has like some dumb picture of a very fuzzy, upright, big man, like The Rock or Lowe or Mike. Such big men on the show. Traipsing around in like some like full bear costume. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So side note is, and I put this in Vanity Fair, and the only thing I saw, and I have to do a deep dive to find a little more context, is supposedly there was this just text bubble that was going around. And who wrote the text bubble? Not quite sure. It looks like a source close to production from what the wording of the text bubble is. I'm just gonna read it to you. Sorry. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah. I also want I do really want to watch that You, Me, and My Ex. And I really want to watch The Bachelor, the 90 Day Bay. That's what Wog calls it. You guys are really... You didn't like Angela's... Like, it's very Angela and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat dress. Sorry, I forgot to talk about Angela's, whole glow up. I'm sorry about that. These are the texts. Okay, again, this is a text bubble. This is all that I have, and I have to find out more. Regarding the Trish Hooker comment, this is what they say. Trish did. She did. One of the camera guys said that TLC made them cut it out. She asked Natalie what she did for work in the Ukraine, and she told her about modeling and go-go dancing and hosting. In the Ukraine, they hire beautiful women to escort you to your table and sit with you and conversate while you have a meal if you're alone or not with a woman. Tips are involved, etc. His mom stopped what she was doing and said, escort, so like you were a hooker, and laughed. They're waiting to show the scene at the tell-all at the end of the season, apparently. Is your mouth open? Are you taking it in? Did you already know? What do you think? Do you know more information that you can share with me right now? Listen, this is what the beauty of our lives are right now. It's Sunday night. There's 100 people in this room. There's 100 people in this room, my loves, 100. And what I'm telling you is, I just read to you that piece of gossip. I need someone that knows more to right now tell us the whole scoop. Get in these comments. Please tell us, because I don't know more than what I just read to you. They supposedly do have the comment, and they're going to bring it in the tell-all. Is Mike going to feel dumb that he okay. This whole situation is obviously crazy. So, and I'm so excited if this is true, because then Trish becomes such a crazy key player in all of this then. And Trish, I guess, had been doing it since the first season when she made them call off the wedding. And I feel like we know Trish is very maternal towards her son. And I think that this is awesome if it's true, because she has really made it seem like Natalie's crazy and horrible to her son. And if she called her a hooker, Natalie's going to have such a validating moment for her. Okay, what are you saying? Natalie has used sexuality to get what she wanted. She wanted to get to America. I think it was a joke because Trish and Mike are like that. Okay, but I mean, if the word hooker came out of Trish's mouth, so you were a hooker, and after like all of the tension, like that's jokes are jokes, but there's kernels of truth if you like hate someone. So maybe the jokes that slam others. Natalie does use her sexuality as a commodity. Have you seen her stir a pot on a stove? The headband chick is a lesbian, isn't interested in Natalie. Okay, well, don't worry. We're going to go there. Canine swim coach coming in hot, just like that little pooch. Oh my God, canine swim coach. You teach dogs how to swim? Canine swim coach, you teach dogs how to swim? That's your job? Well, I mean, that's a perfect job. Your day is get to just teach little pooches how to swim, and they love swimming like that. That dog just jumps and look how happy that dog is with the ears flying in. That's what your job is? Oh my God. Did you guys know that you could be a canine swim coach? I'm gonna cry. What a beautiful job. I feel like, because it's, something that's like, work is whatever work is. Finding what you want to do and what you like to do. Like, it's such a blessing if you find something that you like to do, but then on top of that, then you have to like, I gotta find a way to make money from this thing that I like to do. And then, my God, some people find the thing they like to do and they can make money, and what a crazy situation. But, and I think that like, sometimes there's like closed-minded views on how to make money. And all I'm saying is that like, what a great way to make money, because it sounds like it's specific, right? Like, I mean, from my knowledge, it's specific enough that I feel like you don't have like a large market to compete with. But maybe it's also, then maybe it's hard to find, but I'm not quite sure. Some clientele, but if you get into like a good groove and you love your job, and what a beautiful job you just like play around. I'm into it. I chose the wrong profession. Okay, so we'll get to the headband, my base. So Trish gets a phone call from her baby boy, and she's just like, that Natalie. Is it Natalie? Why are you calling me? It's always Natalie. I hate that Natalie. And I'll tell you that Natalie hates you. Oh, she's never liked you, Mike. No, she used you. She's been using you. She hates you. She thinks you're disgusting. And you're just kind of like, this is a toxic relation on both ends, because his grown man is obviously confiding in his mother too much about his relationship with his woman, too much, in an unhealthy way. Because the truth of the matter is, if it's that bad and that unhealthy, then a healthy individual man should just get out of it himself. But it seems like Mike is in a toxic relationship and just keeps talking about the story of his toxic relationship to his mother, and then turning around and also trying to have his mother, I guess, have like some sort of like kindness towards this woman. I mean, obviously not. I mean, like, you can't do this to, like, so then on, of course, Trisha's side, she has absolutely no boundaries in the, like, the situation. I mean, so he has no boundaries with her son or thinking that her son's a man. Those aren't boundaries that he has. And she's not alone, like, you can say Betty doesn't really have strong boundaries, whether Brandon's a man. You could probably say that Debbie doesn't have Brandon. I can't talk. You can't, I can't, okay. You can probably say Debbie doesn't have strong boundaries, whether Colty is a man. There is a common theme of, relationships between these men and mothers. And I am not going to put blame 100% on either side, where it seems like a codependent and or toxic relationship forms between them. And obviously this is what's happened with Mike and Trish. And I was, this is a hard situation, because I don't think that Mike and Natalie should be together. And so I think they probably do have a really bad toxic relationship. And so you probably want to talk about that. But at the same time, it's been long enough that that you should get out. So Mike does have this conversation with Trish. Trish is basically like, Natalie has never liked you, and it's probably very hard to hear and probably very hard to take and swallow, but Mike does. Like, he's probably been swallowing a lot of his mom's advice and then unwrapping a lot of his mom's handmade scarves over the years for Christmas gifts. So Mike's like, well, you can't talk about my wife that way. But kind of he says that in the confessional and is like, I hear your mom, I hear you. Okay, God bless. So then we cut to Natalie, and Natalie is at her friend Juliana's house. And we know Juliana. I mean, Juliana is like, oh, I should have done this before. This is it. Juliana is an interesting woman and has a home, like in the Washington area and having a home for Natalie at this time is a good idea because she doesn't have a home. So I'm telling you, my love, she gets her friend Juliana to wrap this is not sparkly, but Juliana's like sparkly head wrap around her head like this, doing what? What does this do? I mean, for me, it does cut my forehead in half, and I need like a good forehead cut. We find Natalie in bed, and Juliana brings Natalie something to eat, and it looks beige, something beige to eat, a lot of beige food. And Natalie's lamenting over her life and her choices that have brought her to that place. And Juliana starts to take on a quality that is sometimes maternal, also sexual, intimate. No, very intimate. Kind of maternal, intimate energy between them two. Where Juliana looks at Natalie like there's something in so the unsexual version is that Juliana's just looking at Natalie, honey, like you would the saddest, sweetest flower that's ever been trampled on. But that look also sort of looks like you are the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. It's an interesting look, okay? Russian girls are more touchy-feely than American girls, but okay. Yeah. There is a maternalness and there is an intimacy-ness and an intimacy. And obviously she feels bad for Natalie. So there's also like a pity that's happening. And it comes together in a way that is just used to the advantage of the camera person to look a little what's happening there? Interesting, So, and they want us to think about this. They want us to talk about this. They absolutely do. Like they know what they're doing. And Twitter's a flood. Can you imagine? Sexy Mother Earth confident. Yeah, like there's just so many people on this show. There's so many similar themes. And like another theme of the show is like the friend of one of these main characters who is a psychic or she's like, like Angela's a psychic friend, like, like Stephanie had a psychic friend, like all these bitches just have like psychic friends in their life, like real intuitive friends. Caring, intuitive friends that always care about them so much and what's happening in their life, but also, it has a thought about someone else. It's like as reoccurring as the mother-son theme. I've had my Polish Ukrainian friends want to walk arm in arm. I let them realizing it is a warm thing to do. I do that. I touch women all the time. If I like someone, I will say this, as a cisgender heterosexual woman, and when I feel close to a woman, and I don't have romantic relationships with women, but I often am like, I often like touch them or, like wrap my arm around them or like, I often touch them. I think that my energy with them isn't that I'm probably like, okay, I'm not looking at you. Like, I don't think I'm having like deep looks. I'm not saying that this means anything, but like, I think that there's like I don't know. There's not like, like, oh yes, Natalie. We will go get it. You'll make it better. I'm more like, yeah, girl, I love you. Girl, I got you. I don't know. Is there a difference? Maybe there's not. You tell me. This is what it's like being an only child. This is why it's good to live stream, because I'm giving you the looks I would do right now, and you can tell me whether that reads. Also, someone said she wanted to kiss Natalie, but Natalie turned her head away, missed that part, wasn't paying full attention. Did that happen when they got out of the car? Okay, so let me take this off. I mean, I'm gonna have a mark here now. So yeah, this girl every night has to like take off that thing, and then she has like a mark that she has to be like, da-da-da. Like it's gonna give me like wrinkles. It's gonna, like you can't just like have like a band right there. So they decide to get Natalie's stuff, my love, and they're going to go drive to Squim, and they're going to get Natalie's stuff, and she's going to move out. So they drive in the car, and Natalie's crying, and Juliana's just staring at her, like lovingly. Okay. So they get to Squim, and Natalie's just like, well, I hope Mike isn't there, and then we're like, okay, she gets there, and we see like a truck there, but it's not Big Blue, it's like another white truck or whatever. So it's not, and like we're like, oh, is Mike there? And she like comes in, she like, I think when you first walk in, I think there's like a mirror right there, because she kind of like walks in, she's like, Natalie loves a pose, and I can say that because I also love a pose, so I can tell when Natalie loves a pose because I like someone who also loves a pose. And Natalie, I'm assuming, got lip filler. And so she has some pouty lippity poos, And I haven't got lip filler, even though I have a small desire to, but I'm not going to. But I have a small desire to because sometimes I'm just like, oh, how fun to have just like pouty lips. The reason why I'm not going to is because I know that I would get addicted to it, and I'm not going to ever do it, because I also know that you could tell on me, because I already have somewhat big lips, and I also have like kind of a wide nose, and so I can't have like so many big things happening on my face, So I won't ever do it. I think that for me it will be actually truly maybe a more elegant look if I don't do it, unless as I age they get super unless they shrink a little bit, and then I will have to just put filler to plump them into where they are now. Anyway, this is all my own beauty business. But with her, it feels like she got a little filler, and then so she has that thing that I feel like I have, where I just kind of like make them go out a little bit, so you're like, oh, she does have lips, but she already got filler. So she kind of feel like has that thing where she's maybe been doing it before, and then she got it, and then now it's like, oh girl, you don't got to purse them lips like you used to. I forgot, I don't have any more notes to this. So obviously she comes in the house, honey, and we're like waiting to see if Mike's there, and it's like, da da da, Mike's there, honey. Mike in full Mike mode, just miking it up, honey. I want him to be there, like just like chomping on a carrot, eating some boiled potatoes, honey, salt, butter, pepper, Parmesan. What do you guys think? I've been talking for an hour and 18 minutes, and Dill just got here. I caught alive. Love you, Anwa. Thank you so much. Love from Ireland. Oh, that makes me so nice, so warm and so happy. I love Ireland so much. I'm so sorry. This is borderline offensive of what I'm doing to you, but I love Ireland so much so though. Okay, I've said I'm Syrian Lebanese before, and then I did research to be like, well, I want to go to Ireland. That's already happening. But then I was like, I want to go to Ireland and then go to a Lebanese restaurant. I would lose my mind, I think, to like get to see a Lebanese Irish person. Like I want someone to be like, like, have you tried the hummus? And me be like, I'll just like die. I mean, I'll be so happy. First time I felt he loved her. Oh, you guys are just like, yeah, Mike looked shook. That was like when you were like, that he loved her, like that moment. I think Mike loved her. I don't think that she loved him. And I think Mike knew that she didn't love him when they asked her, and she couldn't say she loved him. Fast forward to now. And I mean this. So this is why, if you are in a relationship with someone and you've already gotten to like a certain place and you are very exclusive, and at this time, and we're talking season 1 of meeting them, Mike had already, Mike was at the Ukraine. They'd already like, decided that they wanted to get married and such. He'd given her the ring and such. So I'm telling you, and this is just my big sis energy moment of the night, that if you are in a significant relationship that has gotten to that point and someone cannot tell you that they love you, you leave. You leave and you don't look back and you don't go back. And it's going to be really hard. But if that person can tell you or not tell you that they love you or not love you, by not saying that they love you, they are telling you that they don't love you. That's true, although incredibly awkward to say and hard to hear. But that is where you now have a scar. You just pick up your life and you move on and your scar will heal. But you don't just keep, now that you have that wound, stabbing yourself with the same jagged knife, thinking that you're going to, like you're going to surgically tie yourself back together. It's not going to work. It's like energetically, the respect level of how you have yourself or how you resent someone, nothing, I don't feel like it goes back from that. I mean, what can she do? Go be like, I was so confused on TV. I didn't really understand. I do love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm so sorry. I mean, maybe if you really felt that she was being honest and truthful and genuine in that moment, but that she didn't even do that. I'm not saying Mike is the saint here. But what I'm telling you is he didn't, well, yeah, because he's not. What I'm telling you is he didn't do what he was supposed to do, which is walk away, which is what we all have to do if we find ourselves in that situation. I want to come there. Beth, remember when she begged him for a baby? She's a user. I was thinking that these poor babies are dad. Yeah. Natalie seems very immature. Natalie's older and she seems very immature. She seems like Julia. Like she doesn't, for someone who's been married, she doesn't seem to understand marriage or what constitutes a good, healthy relationship, but she is in America right now, right? This is where I don't understand. Like, this is where we kind of learned this part of life from Colty and, oh my God. I almost called her Vanessa, but it's Larissa. Is like, you can say things were fraud and then get that person deported or like turned back off this, fiance visa. So like everyone's like, she got to America, but like she did get to America, but like, can she stay? I don't quite understand. Larissa could stay. However, I think Larissa moved back by now, but I think that was also because Larissa had like felonies, so ring back. It's just so interesting, but like that's where this relationship should never have moved on from that moment. And that is a teaching moment for us all, which is that you have to be respected in a relationship. You have to feel loved. You have to, like, if someone can do that, if someone doesn't love you, listen. Because I can't even blame Natalie in that moment. He asked Natalie if she loved him and she wasn't like, yes. She could have just been like, yes. And we would have all been like, no. And he would have just been dumb and be like, great. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what happened. She didn't answer. She answered truthfully. And he had another season with her, brought her to America, then got married to her, and then had another season with her. And that's the season we're watching now, my loves. The season where she's going to leave him. And I just feel like there has to be a reason for us to spend this much time with this couple and watching the show. And we're going to take the good. And the good and the silver lining is that we learn from these people's mistakes. We learn. We do better. Do you understand? We do better for us and for our loved ones. We decide to watch and then lead healthier lives, right? And I mean across the board, how many lessons we've been learning. We learn not to get our kids involved in romantic relationships that we don't feel are sustainable and healthy. And first and foremost, we better make sure we have the mindset to understand what is healthy and sustainable as humans. And then we try and have that in relationships. If we already have children, we make sure that they are kept safe from our own trials and tribulations in our love lives. And we decide that when we do have kids, we allow them to be free to be responsible adults and whole people to have their own relationships. That's what we learned from this show, right? Also, we've learned other things like if you only talk to someone in a certain weird pay site, you can't ever talk to that person in that non-paid site. That's probably bad. You know? Okay. Now, here I am, my loves. I'm going to start closing up shop. I don't want to be too long of a live, but I really appreciate you guys are here. And I've loved seeing my new names. Yeah, the season's going to be ending soon, I think. This is episode 14, right, Booze? Was it usually 16? And obviously, the fact that I, dropped a little nugget that it could happen at the tell-all means some of these tell-all gossip seeds are being planted. Because you got to, think that nothing's real. Nothing is real, my love. Everything is a virtual game. This right now, what you're seeing, I'm not real. Matt Sharp isn't real. Larissa isn't real. Nothing's real. None of these setups are real. I hope, we only find the true, happy, real moments we can in our lives. Because what is real? I'm just kidding. You just this takes a decidedly dark turn. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, but truly, we'll see what happens at the tell-all. I do feel like the fact that we're getting some tell-all gossip nuggets means, of course, the end is nigh. And, hello, Penelope Peterson. Oh, it's so nice to see you. I really do want to go to Montreal. I have a lot of Canadians here. There's a lot of Canadians that I have been able to connect with. Probably definitely by far the country foremost that I have never known anyone in Canada. And then being able to be on YouTube, I feel like I know 7 people in Canada now. Such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country. I really want to traverse Vancouver area. I mean, I do want to go to Montreal. I want to see it all. That's a lot of yarn for Trish. Yeah, you are amongst a lot. I'm going to say this. Wendy, Larissa's still in the U.S. She makes more money than any of the people they have be on the show. Why do I think she had to move back to Columbia? Last time I checked, it was that, she had come on Clubhouse. I thought she had said that, and then I haven't rechecked. So, Wendy, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Thank you so much for checking that. Should I just look right now since I don't want to give you false information? Bloody size real. Oh, it's private. I can't. Oh, there's only 88 posts. I think it's because she's like, oh, she's a backup. Missing people volunteer. She volunteers for missing people? Huh. Well, she has that OnlyFans. Okay. Why are people? It's always like when I want to leave that like people are like just walking in. That's amazing. Waking up at 2 a.m. Oh, my love, where are you 3 hours away? What are you in like the East Coast, baby boo? You in Florida? Oh yeah, Mickey's a Toronto. Yeah, Montreal. I mean, yeah, no, Canadian people stan. They're here. They rep. I'm going to have to, you know what? I mean, like, I can't wait. I'm going to go to Canada and just meet all of you. I can't wait. I know no other people in Canada. I want to go to Canada so bad, and all I want to do is just like meet you guys and then also see beautiful sights. Like I want, like Montreal is a whole like French thing, and I want to experience the culture, and then I also want to like see like beautiful landscape. Like I want to go to waterfalls and hikes and like the lakes. I'm a big lake person. So, all right, my baby boos. Notifications aren't up to par on YouTube. That's why. Okay, great opportunity to be like, hey, you can hit that notification bell and always know. Hi. Also, a great moment to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Chris L. Farah. I did tweet that I was going live, and then I have a private Facebook group that is called Vanity Farah, and I also posted there when I'm going to go live. So hopefully one of those gives you a notification. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. To truly want to hear your take on abuse of Angela. I didn't talk super long about them because I forgot to even talk about the fact that she went to the store and tried on all those clothes or whatever in her size 11 jeans, which was so confusing. It's like, there's size 11. I thought odd sizes were junior sizes. Like, so I thought even sizes were women's sizes. Like, I don't have any 11s and 13s and 9s. I have like 6, 8s, 12s, 10s. Not a lot of 6s. Some 6 tops, some 8 tops, some 8 dresses, some 10 bottoms, some 10 tops, some 10 dresses, some 12 bottoms. You know what I'm saying? Just like doo. Sometimes it depends. I actually am gonna get back in my exercise groove. I can't wait. Just minor note is that I had broke a foot, and so I just haven't been working out at all. And then I'm just enjoying too much of summertime fun, and then I truly just need to get back on my grind. So if you need to get back on your grind, I welcome this opportunity to have like a motivational moment between us. So if you are someone who is looking to work out regularly and or needs accountability for that kind of stuff and or meditation or yoga, drop me a little comment on this video and or comment on, as I said, Vanity Fair if you want to. That's another great place to talk to me. When this video uploads or that, and tell me if you're trying to do that kind of stuff, because I would like to be able to facilitate some sort of accountability for that. It would be great for me. Maybe you. She also, I think you're talking about Angela. She has always had slim legs and booty, built like a linebacker. Yeah, Angela in those size 11 jeans. Yeah, it's an interesting. She has a. She does. You can have an interesting shape like her, and I think that it might not be the easiest to dress. Sometimes a square shape, but at the same time, you definitely can, and it's definitely nothing that she's ever worn. I think that I think that having someone who understands silhouettes and lines would be really, really great. She's not going to find that at the boutique that she went to, nor would she even have the discerning eye to find someone to do that for her. That's Angela. They all have such designer clothisms. Did I even talk about? Oh, you know who I didn't talk about? Ronald. Ronald and Tiffany. Talk about Tiffany's shoulders. It's like obviously a negative situation between them, and I don't really know what to talk about besides them. besides the fact they should be together. But basically, I'm so sorry. So quickly, let's be like, yes, they went to a marriage counselor. The marriage counselor just happens to be Ronald's uncle, and Ronald's uncle was basically like, you guys can't complain about each other. You got to make each other feel good, and like. Ronald, you absolutely have to like do more. You have to like change some poopy diapers, and Tiffany, you have to like stroke your man's ego. You have to like make him feel good, and immediately they got a fight after. And it's because they shouldn't be together, and they have no respect for each other and are horrible together, and they shouldn't be together. That's why. And Ronald's uncle, I think, poor thing, thinks that there's like an opportunity to give good advice because there should be like respect and love there in order to like have a relationship, but there's none there. So none of your advice would ever work. Okay. Oh, Jan, she's amazing and fun. Did you notice how much Ronald looks like his uncle? Yes, I did. And what strong genes they have. Carly's gonna look just like that family, honey. Yay, so happy to catch you on live, Chris. You look great. Sending you lots of love from Netherlands. Yes, Adelina. Ionesco. No, Ionescu. I love me some Netherlands so much. Ramsterdam, is Ramsterdam here? She was here earlier. And Jana, I think Jana's in the Netherlands. I love Amsterdam so much. I would love to go back to the Netherlands. I've only been to Amsterdam, but what a beautiful city. It's like the love child of Venice and Paris together with amazing food. I'm obsessed with stroopwafels. I love the fries, obviously, and the Belgian waffles. I love stroopwafels, though. I one time had a lovely subscriber send me stroopwafels. God, what a blessing it is to do this. It's like I never want to get off, but it's like an hour and 36 minutes. Every time I want to go off, someone comes in the room and is like, oh my God, it's the first time I've ever seen you. I'm here. And I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be like 2 a.m. and I'll be like, no voice. I actually do have to go. It's 11:24 and I have to start shutting down my brain because sometimes when I have anxiety and stuff like that, like what I'm doing right now, even though it's really fun and talking to you, I'm actually staring at a computer with a bunch of blue light coming at my face and a ring light in a lit room. So I have to like start not thinking and turning off my mind, and not talking, and then like try and like turn off my brain. And for someone like me, that is so hard. Turning off my brain is very difficult. Shutting down my nervous system is very hard. I don't have control over my nervous system, and I wish I did. I think that's why like meditation and yoga is good and stuff like that. And of course, like maintaining good sleep hygiene, which I'm not doing right now. But yeah, I would love to be better at those two things. Okay, even just 10 minutes is a treat. Okay, so let me tell you so all the socials are there. Yes, the thing. I've started, so on Thursday night, sorry, I think on Wednesday night, Juan and I are gonna do, I'm gonna try and talk her into doing, moving our nights to Wednesday nights a little earlier for our Say What. And then I really like also having a daytime live. It's fun for me. And this is at night for me. So on my channel, I want to go back and start doing a Friday day live. So I did one last Friday that I titled Following, which is basically things of the week that I have been following, news stories, celebrity stuff, products that I've wanted or following, shows that I've been following, like Big Brother is something that I am also been watching, and so I talk about that. And I also I really want to watch those other two shows. Anyway, so that's on the docket Friday, and then the Say What that usually happens Thursday. I'm going to see if Wa can do it Wednesday, but this will all be posted. And again, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Crystal Fair. That's down there. Also, my Venmo's there. And Noel, and then Vanity Fair on Facebook is like where also you can get a hold of me. All right, my loves, I really just appreciate you so much. Night, Sir Anthony. What a dapper gentleman you are. Yeah, it's really hard, Just want to keep talking. I know, no. Look at this, like, Debbie, look at this picture of you. Look at your eyeshadow. It's such a small picture, but I can tell the peach coralness of your eyeshadow and obviously your crease work and the light brow bone shimmer. And like what looks like a very nude, matty lip, but then like such full lips. My God, I'm dying over your makeup. Can you tell? All right. Okay. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna really do it, but I really, really appreciate all of your engagement and love. Thank you so much for liking this video. Thank you so much for commenting here. Thank you so much for commenting when it goes up. Like I really hope that like I give back like some sort of light or warmth to you because like it truly you like your time and attention here. Like I'm so appreciative to you for your presence to be here. And I don't know I don't know why I'm like lucky that I get to like just sometimes go live and just have like 100 people just be like, hey, what's happening? Maybe we're doing our thing. Maybe we're like, you know, going to bed. But like truly I know I know how gifted it is. Like what a gift you're giving me and I don't know why I get to be gifted in such a way. Okay. So it's why I never want to leave. At the same time, I also have to like do things tomorrow. And again, shut down my brain. If I was just someone who could just be like, bye, dink, and go to bed, maybe it's like not a thing, but it's not. Okay. So this is it. No, this is me going. This is me going. I love you guys. I want you to have a beautiful week. I want you guys to like comment when you do. I concealer nude lippies. Tell me more. Tell me the products you're using. Okay, my loves. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. Okay. I love you very much and have the best week. And you're all so hot. Such hot people.